Hi everyone. So a lot of people ask me to make videos about Android versus iOS. There are a lot of people who are planning to switch to iPhone. So they ask me whether they should switch to it, and if they switch to iPhone, what we are going to miss. And there are a lot of people who ask me why people even use iPhones. Because I know there are a lot of people out there who hate iPhones. Hate is a strong word, but I know there are people like that. But there are some rational people out there as well who are not switching to iPhone because of some valid reasons. Because iPhone does not have that USB-C, they're still using that Lightning port. Some people do not like the notch, and I respect that decision as well. And there are a lot of people who do not like the limitation of iOS, which is also true. But there are some people who are just afraid to switch to iPhone because they don't know how the experience is going to be, and iPhones are not cheap. This year I have seen a lot of people switch to iPhones. I switched to iPhone last year, but I have the liberty to use both the OS, but it's not the case for everyone, so people have to choose between iPhone or Android phones. But the question still remains the same, even after so many issues with iPhones, why people use it. See, I'm going to give you some reason, but those are going to be just my experience based on me and the people around me. So half of my family and friends use iPhones, half of my family and friends use Android phones. So just don't take it personal. The first reason I think people switch to iPhones or stick with their iPhones is the consistency. When I talk about consistency, it's not a great thing by all means, but for a normal consumer, when they upgrade to an iPhone, they know how consistent the iPhones are. So there are no surprises when you upgrade to a new phone. Like I said, it might not be a good thing for tech enthusiasts, but we are not the primary consumer here. So not every normal consumer upgrade their phone every year, and when they do not want to learn anything new. So there's that familiarity. And why a normal consumer switch their phone? Maybe their battery is degrading, their phone is getting slow, or the cameras are not up to mark to the current standards. So imagine if you're upgrading from iPhone 10 to iPhone 13, there will be no learning curve. Only the basic things will be upgraded, and that's what normal consumers want most of the time. With Android, it gets a bit tricky. So if you are upgrading in Android, especially in a different brand, the experience is going to be different. So let's suppose if you are switching from Pixel to Samsung or Samsung to OnePlus, by the way, you shouldn't do that. I'll give you a very small example. My father is using Pixel 4a and I was using Pixel 6. So I showed him that Android 12 changes because the update was pending on Pixel 4a as well. But he did not like the new design. The quick panel is changed, the settings is a little bit different. So he was okay with what he was using. So like I said, for a normal consumer, iPhone, or should I say iOS, is a bit more consistent and it's throughout same on every single iPhone. The second reason, and where I think people criticize Apple a lot, is the lack of innovation. And I get you, tech people, but just take a step back and think about how many people really care about 120 watt fast charging. I get it, 5 watt is slow, but I can draw a line to around 30 watt, and if it's going to last for a longer time, I'm okay with that sort of charging. The 10x zoom is also cool, the 108 megapixel camera is also great, but in the end it comes to the processing of the photos. So most of the people who are using their smartphone are going to post their photos or videos on social media, and that's where the iPhone works better than Android. So you don't need all of those gimmicks most of the times, because we all know what happened with OnePlus and Hasselblad partnership. See, I know a lot of you right now, like especially Android fans or Android fanboys, are going to comment that I'm a Apple sheep, Apple fanboy. I get it. I know where you're coming from. But I think for a normal consumer, it's better to have a reliable experience over that half-baked hardware or software. And by no means I'm saying that Samsung should not make foldables. I mean, the innovation is good, the competition is always good, but they should also look for their cheaper line and the software experience on those phones. So I think people need a better processor and better display as compared to 5G in so many countries. And no one uses the depth camera. Stop making fool out of people with multiple cameras. See, I have a lot to talk about these gimmicks which brands put in their phones, but there's another issue I want to talk about right now, and the reason why people switch to iPhones, because Android has too many options and the competition is going in the wrong way. Don't you think it sucks when you purchase a phone today and the very next day there's an announcement for a new phone which has 1% better feature with the same price, and you think, oh shit. I mean, Realme and Xiaomi are the biggest culprit here, but Samsung is not behind. Like in Samsung, we have A series, F series, M series, S series, Fold and Flip. And I can't even follow the Realme and Xiaomi Vivo phones nowadays. And as a tech reviewer, it's getting really hard to recommend a good Android phone in any sort of price bracket because there are so many options. And if that was not enough, the price drop is another problem with Android phones. There is any brand out there that might stick to their pricing after 1 month of the release. See, with Apple it's simple. I mean, you add $100 and you get a different phone, but that's it. There is no competition between. But in Android, there is a lot of competition. And I know competition is good. I know having options are good, but having too many options increase the anxiety and it wastes a lot of time. As a tech reviewer, you know how much research you put when you're going to buy an Android phone rather than if you're going to purchase an iPhone. Which brings me to the another issue with having so many options. The brands are not able to keep up with their software update cycle. So if I keep aside the Samsung S series and Pixel phones, there are barely any phone that will give you 2 years of software update and 3 years of security patch, and with no timelines of course. See, we all know about the iOS track record. Even iPhone 6s is running iOS 15 after 6 years. So we don't have to worry about software on iOS. So with that, people think about iPhone as an investment because unless your phone is really dead, you can use your phone for a very long time. See, it's not just the software support, it's also the ecosystem. We all know that iPads are the best tablets right now. There are barely any competition. Samsung is the only one who's competing, but I think Google has given up on the tablet market. And if you have Mac, the ecosystem which makes it really great, sharing the services across the platform is really good. When it comes to ecosystem, Samsung is the only one who's trying to compete, but it's not very good because with the Windows laptop, you need to have Microsoft account. With Samsung, you have Samsung account and you need to create the Google account. So it's not as seamless as the iPhones are. So that's another reason why people switch to iPhones, because the ecosystem is also great. Okay, let's keep the ecosystem aside. The Google Pixel is the only phone that can compete with the clean software experience with iPhone. But the problem is Google Pixel is not available in every country. I cannot purchase Pixel 6 or Pixel 6 Pro in India right now. And we don't really have good service center in India. And it's the case with most of the countries. So we really don't have any sort of competition. Now I'm going to talk about an issue which actually made me switch to iPhone, which is performance over efficiency. So if you are following me for some time, you know how unhappy I was with Exynos 990. And even though Exynos has been improved a lot this year, the Snapdragon 88 was not really great in terms of performance and heat. I don't know why Qualcomm and Samsung are trying to compete with Apple in terms of raw performance, but they're not working on their power efficiency. So in the end, we get a phone that throttles a lot and all the performance of that 120Hz refresh rate, the new animation goes down to hell because you have a phone that is like burning like hell. And what are brands doing in the end? They are increasing the size and weight of the phone because they want to put bigger battery, because the current chips are not great in the power efficiency. So the phone does not last for a long time. See, this year iPhone 13 series has been really good with battery. I'm using iPhone 13 mini and I thought this is not going to last me a single day, but here we are. See, I'm sucker for compact phone. I think they are more practical and it makes me really sad that I cannot find a good flagship Android phone that is compact, and I know there are a lot of people who will be happy with a 6-inch phone. And last but not the least is the price. See, iPhones are still expensive, but Android phones are getting expensive as well. And when people are investing in a phone, they think why not invest for a long time? And the recent drop in prices of iPhone 12 and 12 mini, which makes them a great value flagship right now, people switch to iPhone, and that's why it happens. They switch to iPhones with all the limitation and still happy. At least some of them are. And that makes me think like a lot of people do not care about innovations, features, flexibility or options. They just want a phone that works and that is reliable and is going to last them for a long time. See, I'm still pro Android and I want it to do better because I don't want Apple to rule the market and I don't want any brand to do it. But every brand should understand the importance of the software, the practicality of a phone and the software support they can give to their older phones. See, I don't think it makes sense to compare Android and iOS because they are both amazing platforms. It's the manufacturer that needs to work in favor of consumer. And for all the tech enthusiast people out there, we should open our mind in terms of refinement, stability, and efficiency. Specs and benchmarks are not everything, and for a normal consumer, it does not mean anything. That's all I wanted to say. And if you're still here, thank you for your time. Subscribe to my channel if you want to come back and watch my video. Otherwise, only a like or comment will do. My name is Rohit. I'll see you in the next one. Till then.